I'm happy that you guys are here today again. My name is Nuris Barriga. I am working also with Pathfinders, and I help sometimes adventures, but I was working with adventures before many years ago. I actually was the director for the club at my church, and it was a really nice experience. So I love working with adventures, and I love to, working with you kids. And I'm happy that you guys are here today. We're gonna learn about potatoes. This is what we're going to be talking today. All right, so let's gonna go ahead and start. What about if we close our eyes and we are going to have a prayer, and put your hands together and let's gonna pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you, dear Lord, for this beautiful day that you provide us. Thank you, dear Lord, for the opportunity to get together with the Adventures Club and with all these adventures today to talk about the potatoes owners and something that we're going to learn how to grow potatoes so we can eventually in the future use it or to grow them at home so we can eat them. Thank you, dear Lord, for that. Thank you for the blessing of the Sabbath and for your love. In Jesus' name, amen. So again, thank you so much for being with us today. I'm really happy to have you. I see that is a large number of kids and parents as well joining us in today's meeting. So I'm going to show you a slideshow that I have. So give me just one moment. All right, so today, again, we are going to be talking about the potatoes honor, isn't it? It's actually an award, potato award. And again, like I said before, my name is Nuris Barriga. I am one of the area coordinators for the Pathfinders, but I am also helping the Adventures Club, sometimes teaching the honor. So it's a privilege for me to be with you today. All right, so during the entire meeting, we're going to be talking about different topics. And one of the topics is we're going to read about and discuss Genesis 1:12. We're going to discuss also Genesis 29:30 and Ecclesiastes 3:2. Now, another topic that we're going to be talking today is what are the nutritional benefits of potatoes? The potato is the official food or vegetable of which states? We are also going to talk about how do potatoes grow? What are the best growing conditions? What are the different varieties of potatoes? And which varieties are available in our area here in California? And when and how the potatoes are harvested. So those are the topics that we're going to be talking during this meeting today. All right. Thank you. Now, we are also going to be we are going to be doing something else, but that one is homework for you and your directors. So we are going to do one of the following. We're going to plant a potato and watch it grow. So you can do it at home. You can get a potato, whichever kind you want to use, and you're going to grow it at home, or you're going to get together with the Adventures Club and you guys are going to grow potatoes. It could be that you have a space at church where you can do it, or you can also do it in someone's members in their home, and they have a place where to grow potatoes. You all together can get together and do grow the potatoes and use it. All right. Now, one of that we're going to talk today is about reading the Bible and discussing different Bible verses. That's pretty much the number one. And we're talking about Genesis 1:1-12, Genesis 29:30, and Ecclesiastes 3:2. So we're just going to go ahead and read one at a time. So if there's someone that can please read it aloud, you can unmute yourself and then go ahead and read it. Genesis 1:12.
And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herbs that yield seed, and the fruit trees that yield fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, the herbs that yield seed according to its kind, and the trees that yield fruit, whose seed is in itself according to its kind. And God saw it was good.
Thank you so much, sister, for reading that. And you see how the Bible verse said, then God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herbs that yield seed, and the fruit trees that yield fruit according to its kind. So God gave us different types of vegetables, trees, fruit trees. He gave us the seeds to grow food so we can have it for us to eat something, isn't it? And he also told us that it was he said that it was different kinds. You know what? It was not only one kind, it was different kinds. And let's say, for example, we're going to talk about potatoes. We're going to talk about the different kinds of potatoes that God gave us. This is beautiful because in this case, we know that there's a variety of options that we can have, and he gave it to us for free. Imagine that is really good. Now, he also said at the end that it was good. So everything that is related to fruits, vegetables, any type of food that we grow is good. God saw that it was actually good. So we can trust in the food that we can grow. All right. So let's gonna go ahead and read the next Bible verse, which is Genesis 1:29-30. And whoever wants to read it can unmute yourself and go ahead.
And God said, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it shall be for food. 30 also to every beast of the earth, to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth in which there is a life. I have given every green herb for food. And it was so.
Thank you so much for reading the Bible verse. And you see how here in this Bible verse said, I have given you every herb that yields seed, everyone. So there's nothing that it was not created by God, that it was not given to us. And this is actually, as I said before, is something that he gave us for free. He created those beautiful seeds that can grow into a beautiful fruit tree, and we can actually eat it. And he also gave this trees and these fruits and this food to the animals as well, so they could also eat. And he said at the beginning, it was good. It was also good. So we also every time that we see something that is growing like a flower at tree, every time that you go to the grocery stores and you see in the produce section the beautiful fruits and different kinds of food that they have over there, everything was created by God. And he gave it to us so we could have something beautiful of something nice and delicious to eat. All right, so let's gonna go ahead and read Ecclesiastes 3:2. And whoever wants to read it again, you can unmute yourself and go ahead and read it.
Time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Amen. Thank you so much for reading that. Now, Ecclesiastes 3:2 is talking about that there's time for everything, isn't it? It's time to be born. It's time to die. It's time to plant. It's time to pluck up that which is planted. So we can actually, wait until the potato is ready for us to to plant it into the dirt and see it grow. And it's going to be beautiful how it's going to grow and how after that the flower is going to die, but then the potato is going to be ready for us to harvest it and to eat it. And we're going to learn that about it. So it is amazing and it is exciting how this little potato can grow into too many potatoes. And that is going to be amazing for you guys to see once you do it at home. And we are going to talk here about what are the nutritional benefits of potatoes. Once we see a potato, we think that this potato doesn't have benefits. And a lot of people might think that this potato is full of starch and unfortunately it's going to make us fat. But in reality, is the opposite. It's dependent on how we eat it and how we prepare the potatoes. And let's gonna see the next slide to learn what are the nutritional benefits of potatoes. So as we see here in this beautiful picture, potatoes are cholesterol free. I know that some of you have heard about, people have cholesterol and they have to take medications. Maybe for you guys and ladies, this is something that, you don't have cholesterol, but then some older people, like for example, myself, might have high cholesterol, and that's because we are eating a lot of foods high in fats. So in this case, if we see potatoes are cholesterol free, so are good to eat. Those are good to eat. Now, they are low in sodium. Sodium is salt. So they are low in sodium, which is really good for you. They are a good source of fiber. Fiber is something that you need in your stomach to process the food and to go into your intestines really slow and really soft, and you're not going to be constipated. And at the end, once you have to go to the number 2, you're going to be happy because you're not going to be, with pain in your stomach. So the fiber is helping you actually to your stomach to process the food and to get rid of whatever excess you have in a nice way. And you are not going to be constipated and with tummy ache because you don't have fiber in your stomach. Now, that is really good. And it's also fat-free. So that means that it doesn't have any fat in there. It's really good. So any potatoes are really good. Now, the picture that you're seeing there is called Russet Potato. Those are the percentages of or the amount of fat, calories, fiber, carbs, and protein that it has. So one of those potatoes has that amount of calories. Let's say, for example, it has 164 calories. It has 4 grams of fiber, which is really good. You also have 0.2 grams of fat, and it has 37 grams of carbs, 4.6 grams of protein. I love that because it's very nutritional. It gives you a good source of protein, carbs, and enough fiber to process and to be, good. But if you
We can't hear you.
I know, I got muted. Thank you so much for letting me know. So what happened is, if you eat a lot of potatoes, if you get, let's say, for example, instead of eating 1 and you're eating like 10 potatoes, of course, it's going to be bad for you because it's too much of the food, and it's any type of food. But if you eat a good portion and enough portion, like a little cup of potatoes, is really good for your health. Now, potatoes are a good source of vitamin C, which is really good for your immune system, and vitamin B and potassium. So you guys are going to be okay by eating potatoes. Don't say that eating potatoes is bad. It's actually really good. All right. Any questions so far? No? Okay. So let's gonna go ahead and move to the next one. So this is the number 3. The potato is the official food or vegetable of which state? And do you guys have any ideas which state is the one that is said we grow potatoes and we are the best growing potatoes? Do you guys know? Yay! Yes, you guys know. Yes, that's true. So Idaho is the synonym synonym with potatoes. So I actually potatoes, they are one of the states that grow most of the potatoes. And then it covers the entire production, or most of the production for the entire United States, for our entire country. Whatever they grow over there, they sell it around the United States. So Idaho is pretty much the official state for potatoes. I don't know if you guys had seen a video, but in YouTube, there's a video where they were counting for the end of the year, similar to something that the New York does, the countdown for the midnight, for the end of the year. And instead of putting down the big bowl, they had a big potato, and it was a russet potato going down, and they were counting down with that beautiful potato. But it was really, really nice. And so Idaho, yes, is the synonym with potatoes. They grow different varieties of potatoes, and they give them, or they sell them around the United States. All right. Now, if you see this map here, there's other states that always, they also have potatoes. Some of them are, for example, New Hampshire, they have white potatoes. They pretty much grow a good amount, and they also sell it all over the United States. North Carolina and Louisiana, they also have sweet potatoes. That's another kind, that's a different variety of potatoes, but then they are the ones who grow it the most. And they are the ones that sell it to, all over United States. And Idaho, like you see here in the map, this one, Idaho is the one that this little state here is going to give potatoes to the entire United States, which is really, really good. They have a large production. All right. Any questions so far? No? Okay, let's gonna move forward. How do potatoes grow? Anyone has any ideas on how the potatoes grow?
Underground.
Under the ground. Yes. Yes, under the ground. Thank you so much. Yes, I love that initiative telling me that is under the ground. So let's gonna see. Some of the fruits and some of the food that we see in the stores, they grow in different ways. We have here that we have fruit trees, and then in those fruit trees, we can have just delicious. I love oranges. So imagine we have, like for example, in this case, we have little oranges, and they are in trees, beautiful big trees. We also have vines, which is the strawberries. They grow in vines. And have you gone to the farm to pick up strawberries? I have gone, and it's really, really good because you can go and walk in the fields and pick up your strawberries. Those are really, really good. But they grow in vines. Now, there's another one, a plant that is tomato. They're similar the way that the strawberries grows, the tomato grows, but that tomato is a different plant, and it grows, a little taller. Now, there's another one that is underground, and the carrots also grow underground, the same as the potatoes. This is the way that the potatoes grow. If you see, this is a little tiny one that we are putting in under the dirt. After a certain time, it comes a little bit of a little piece of plant, and then continue growing with a little leaves here on the side. And then once it matures and it's a little bit bigger, it grows these little flowers, and it has also leaves here. And if you see here in this picture, the potatoes are bigger. Now, if you see here, the little tiny potatoes grow, or they grow after we planted just one potato. Just from this one potato, we had different potatoes. Now, and they, of course, they grow a little bigger. All right, so let's gonna see the next picture. And it said, what are the best growing conditions for potatoes? Okay, And then in this case, let's gonna see. Okay, the potatoes, for them to grow, they need to have sun. They also need to have water, and they need to
Obviously.
have, and they need to have a good amount of air. So if you have the potatoes and you're growing the potatoes inside your home, they might not grow as good as they can. Okay, just give me 1 second, please. All right, so again, so we're gonna have, they need to have a good amount of sun. They need to have a good amount of water, and they also need to have air. All right, let's gonna move forward to the next one. This one is showing us a little pot or a little container, and it has, every time that you're putting water to the potatoes, it needs to have at least 2 inches of water. So you need to add a good amount of water to the potatoes. Whatever place you're growing the potatoes, you always need to add a good amount of water. Why? Because they need that water to be able to grow. And then again, they need a lot of sun and they need a lot of air. Let's gonna see the next picture. Now the temperature, it has to be about 70 Fahrenheit. What happened with this is the temperature has to be warm. So that means that you need to plant your potatoes when it's warm. If you plant your potatoes when it's winter, they might not grow. So you need to wait until the temperature is a little higher so your potatoes can grow. Now, the next one is said, what are the different varieties of potatoes? Which varieties are available in your area here in California? So I'm going to show you different kinds of potatoes that you're going to be able to find in different places, especially in the entire United States. You're going to see them, but here in California, I noticed that we can find different kinds, and most of them, I think you're going to be able to find them here. All right. So there's a big list. This is about 27 names for different types of potatoes. All right, so the names that you see here are different kinds of potatoes. You don't need to learn all these names right now, but I know that it's 27 different kinds, and we are going to see about 10 different kinds, 9 to 10 different kinds that you guys have seen in the stores, and probably mom or dad have cooked at home. And I'm gonna read some of them. So for example, if you start at the beginning, these are the russet, which is a starchy potato, jewel jam, Japanese sweet potato, Hana sweet potato, Rosefin apple, melody potato, Russian banana. And it's not that the potato is a banana, it's just the name. Russian banana, red thumb, lauda potato, pinchy, solanum tuberosum, it's called also Duke of York, French fingerling, red potato, Austrian crescent, cranberry red, German butterball, door potato, Catadine potatoes, King Edward potato, new potatoes, wonton Jello potatoes, red gold, purple majesty, Norland red, Yukon gold, Kennebec, and all blue. This is a picture of different kinds, and we're gonna learn about the names. But if you guys have an idea, have you seen these potatoes in your store once you go to the market with mom or with dad?
Yes, I have.
You have? Oh, great. Oh, amazing. All right, so let's gonna start with the number 1. This is the one that we were talking before, russet potato. This kind of potato is the one that you guys eat once you can bake them, and you can open it in the middle and put a little bit of cream, a little bit of butter, and it's going to be a delicious potato. This, the skin is kind of thick and with light and fluffy center. So once you cook it in the middle, it's going to be soft. It's going to be really, really nice. And outside it's going to be a little bit harder, but it's actually really good. If you wanna cover them with foil paper, you're gonna be able to put them in the oven, and you're gonna have those delicious baked potatoes. And you can add whatever you want on top of them. And I know for sure mom has cooked those for you guys one time. And if they had not, just tell mom, please cook this potato for me. And again, you can wrap it with foil paper, put it in the oven. It takes time. It takes a long time to cook. But then if you put them in the oven for 40, 45 minutes approximately, it's going to be soft in the middle, and you can combine it with different things, and it's going to be delicious. Let me see. Okay, let's gonna see the other kind of potato. Give me just 1 second. In this case, this is the red potato. This is really good also to cook, and if you boil it with a lot of water, the skin stays firm, and then but inside is also soft. It's actually really good for different type of meals that you cook at home or your mom cook at home, and it's very delicious. The red one, I love it personally. It's my favorite potato. Now the next one, this one is the Jello potato. The buttery flavor with a creamy texture. What that means is once you cook, and this is the same one that I've been showing to you guys all the time. Once you cook this potato, it's super soft. You can make mashed potato with this one, and it's actually really, really, really good. I love it. Personally, I love it. I'm getting hungry right now, and I wanted to cook a mashed potato right now because this is really, really good. Now, once you cook this one, of course, you can smash it. You can put a little bit of salt, and it's going to taste really, really good. Now, there's different kinds of potatoes and different colors of potatoes. This one is the one that is called purple potato. This one, the medium skin, it's a medium skin. That means that the skin is not that hard and it has a earthy flavor, and the color is purple. And it's really nice. I don't know if you have tried, I personally have not tried the purple potato, but I heard that it's really, really good. And there's people that they cut it in tiny slice, like they slice it in a little thin pieces, and they dehydrate them, and it becomes whatever you find in the store, the chips. But then you can make homemade chips at home, but you have to slice it really, really thin to be able to cook this this potato and have it like a snack or two chips at home, or homemade chips. Now there's another kind of potato, and it's the white potato. The white potato also has a thin skin, and it has a nutty flavor, and it stays firm throughout cooking. So this is a little bit more harder than the other ones. I mentioned to you that this one, the Jello potato, is more soft. On the other hand, this one is a little bit harder. So it doesn't mean that it's going to take longer to cook. It means that it stays more solid. It doesn't dissolve or turns into mashed potato really easily. So it's harder than the Jello potato that we saw before. Now the next one is the fingerling potato. It looks like a finger. You see, it's a little long, and this one also has a buttery flavor with a firm texture. It's actually really good as well. Another kind of potato is the petite potato. And this petite potato is the one that they use, let's say, for example, to fry. If you see the picture right now, those are being cooked. And then they added a little spices and specials on top. Could be a little bit of parsley or a little bit of cilantro with salt on top, and they fry them on or I think they bake them in this picture. But it's also really good because the flavor is really, really good, and it's a concentrated flavor, which is really good. Now the other kind, and the last one that we're gonna see, is called sweet potato. The sweet potato is a different kind, and this is a different variety. It's very, very healthy. A lot of people love eating the sweet potato. So I would recommend you to make it at home. Either you can make a dessert with you cook it, and you can add a little bit of honey on top, and it's going to be really good. Or you can cook it with piloncillo, and it's going to taste sweet. I don't know if you guys don't know the piloncillo, but it's a sweet item that you find in the Hispanic stores, and then
Marshmallows up top.
oh, that's a good one. No, yes, you can also cook them or bake them in the oven and put marshmallows on top. That's my favorite. So Isaac, you have a question?
Yeah. What's the healthiest potato?
Oh, okay. That's a good question, actually. All the potatoes are really good, but I have heard, and a lot of people talks about the sweet potato being the healthiest. So if you want to try, you can try the sweet potato. If you like it, you can start you can start eating it every day. And again, if you eat one potato, it's fine. But if you eat 20 potatoes in one portion, it's actually really bad for you because it's not going to give you the nutritional factors that you need for your daily meals. So it has to be portions. Everything, remember, has to be an amount that you can eat. But if you exceed, if you eat, for example, a lot of strawberries, you're gonna get sick. If you eat a lot of different type of foods, also you might get sick eventually. So, but if you eat portions, it's pretty good. All right. So this is the different kinds of potatoes. I'm gonna show it to you again. So again, remember, this is the russet potato. This is the red potato, jello potato, purple potato, white potato, fingerling potato, petite potato, sweet potato, and that's it.
Can I say something about potatoes?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, my dad used to be a farmer.
Mhm.
So he used to farm potatoes. And it depends how if the soil is good. If the soil is good, the potato can grow even as more than 2 pounds.
Oh, wow.
He used to harvest, potatoes about this size. Yes, really big. It depends on the soil. If the soil is good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Thank you so much for mentioning that. Our sister before said that it's a good, the soil, where you're going to grow the potatoes is really good. What is going to happen? The potatoes are going to grow bigger. Of course, if you add water, if there's a good amount of air and sun, they are going to grow healthy and it's going to be big potatoes. So imagine a potato, 2 pounds potato. It's really, really good. I would like to see that. All right. Who has a question?
Me.
Okay, go ahead.
French fries. French fries. Healthy.
French fries are delicious, are really good. I love French fries, don't get me wrong, but they are not healthy. And the reason is because they absorb a high amount of fat and oil, which is the oil where you fry them. So you're eating a lot of oil and you don't want that because you're going to have, eventually you're going to be sick. But then another option for you is to bake them. You can cut them the same shape when you do the French fries, and you can put them in the oven and bake them. This is same, and it's going to be similar to a fried potato, which is really good, and it's less oil, it's less fat for you. So even though they are yummy, I can tell you they are really good. Fried potatoes are delicious, but they are really bad for your health. So bake them. You have the option to cut them in the little stripes the same and bake them. They are really good.
I have to tell you something.
Go ahead.
I don't put a lot of oil and I don't bake them.
What do you do?
So I like put them in the air fryer.
Wow, that's amazing. Yes, thank you so much for that option. Yes, it's really
I
good.
have a question. Are sweet potato pies healthy?
Sweet potato are really healthy. But again, if you fry them, it's not a good option.
The pie.
Sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato pie.
Oh, sweet potato pies. Those are really good. You have some you can share with me? I love them. Please.
I never tried them. I have to try them.
Okay. Tell mom to cook sweet potatoes for you with the marshmallows on top, and you're gonna try them first away. If you like them, then you're gonna love the sweet potato pies.
have a question.
Okay, another question.
I haven't heard of a sweet potato pie, but I know you can make it out of like pumpkins and apples, but I haven't heard of a sweet potato pie.
Let's gonna try. What about if we make a sweet potato pie?
I want to
Let's make it. Let's see how it tastes. I think it's going to taste delicious. Definitely.
Yeah, because the sweet potato is so sweet.
Because they are sweet. That is true. All right, guys.
Abby has a picture of that.
Abby has a picture. Oh.
I have a question.
Oh, I think Abby wants to share the picture. I don't know if you guys want to see it. Can you see it? Abigail is showing the picture.
Huh? He's going. Oh, right there.
Right there.
No.
That is a huge potato, Abigail.
What
Yeah.
is that? Funny looking one.
It's a pretty big potato. Yeah.
Maybe it's not a potato. Maybe it's just people stack potatoes on potatoes.
Well, that's a good idea. Very creative. I love that one. No, but it's actually a potato. I'd seen them as well. And then there's another kind. There's different kinds, and it depends where you grow them. Now, the next part is when potatoes are harvested or when potatoes harvest. So once the flowers form on your potato, plant is almost time. Wait until the flowers start to fade and drop off the plants. You see this flower here? This beautiful flower is a potato flower. Now, once this flower is like this, is bloom and beautiful, the potato is not ready. You had to wait until this flower fall off the plant. Then it's time for you to harvest the potatoes. Now, it said, you can then start harvesting and your potatoes will remain in this tender stage for 2 to 3 weeks. Now, once you see the flowers kind of yellow and ugly because they are kind of dead, your potatoes are ready to harvest. Okay. Now, the next one said how potatoes are harvested. It depends. There's different ways to harvest potatoes. Now, once there's a farm, our sister said that she was growing potatoes in her home, isn't it? So what happened is there's other farms that they have these little tracks. Those are called tractors. And those tractors are going to be the ones who are going to harvest the potatoes. You see these plants? You see that the plants are kind of dead here on the sides? That's because the flower grew. It was beautiful at the beginning and then die. But the potato was ready at that time. Now, there's another way to harvest potatoes. The other way is by hand. You can do it with a fork, or that's the way that you can do it. And you're going to be gentle on the dirt and the soil, and you're going to take them out. And again, remember, from one little potato, you're going to get a lot of potatoes. You're going to get more than one. You're going to get few potatoes out of only one. Now, this is your assignment for you to do at home or for you to do it with your Adventures Club. And either you plant a potato and watch it to grow, and you're going to take pictures and you're going to document it, what happened with your potato, or you're going to help someone to harvest the potatoes. If that is what you're going to do, and then you're going to get together, you're going to plant the potatoes together, and you guys are going to watch it, how they grow. But you have to actually take pictures and document it. At the end of the assignment, you guys are going to show that to your teacher, to your director, and she's the one who's going to give you the patch, okay? Remember that she's the one in charge, or he's the one in charge of receiving your guys' responses. So there's two different ways that I'm going to show you. The first one will be planting your potatoes in your jar, in your back jar, or in your front jar. And the second option that I'm going to show you is how to plant potatoes in a pot. So either because you live in an apartment, you don't have a backyard, and you cannot do it with the group, then you're going to do it in either way. So how are you going to
Sounds
plant
good.
potatoes in your jar? In your jar, you have to have a good amount of sand, and the dirt or the soil has to be prepared, you have to add nutrients to the soil, because if it's a bad soil, is the potatoes, like the sister said before, the potatoes are not going to grow healthy. They are going to be skinny and tiny and ugly. But if you add the nutrients to the soil, they are going to grow really nice. So remember, the temperature has to be 70 Fahrenheit. Approximately, we cannot control the temperature outside, so don't worry about it. As long as it's a good weather and it's a good amount of sun, you're fine. So planting potatoes in your jar, you have to make sure that there's a lot of sun in the portion or in the part where you're going to grow the potatoes. Now, the other part is that you're going to get potatoes either because you have them at home or either because you go to the store, to any of the market and buying the potatoes. And the potatoes have to be ready to grow. It means that it has this little, let me see the camera. These little things has to be in the potato. You see these things? Those are the, I would say roots for, and those are the ones who are going.
They're called eyes.
Thank you so much. So they need to have those little eyes, and the flower is going to come out from this little thing. And this is already growing in this one. So once the potato has a lot of things all over, or a lot of eyes all over, it's ready to plant. Okay. All right. So once you buy your potatoes, you are going to make sure that it said here that this little eye, the one that I show you, is going to grow at least half an inch. It's going to grow this way. So you're going to put them in a bucket or in the kitchen somewhere, and you leave them there until this thing grows a little bit, probably half an inch. Once they grow, they are ready to plant.
Do you say grow into the kitchen?
No, but you can just have them in the kitchen, let's say until you see those little eyes. Once you have them like that and you see those little eyes bigger, what is going to happen is you can cut them in 2 inches, or you can leave them as it is. You don't have to cut them if you don't want to, but you can do it as well. You can cut them in slice the potato like you see in the picture, and it's going to be about 2 inches big. Now, after you do that, then you're going to prepare the soil in the jar, in the portion where you wanted to plant the potatoes. You're gonna use fertilizer. Give me 1 second.
I don't have that much room.
No, yeah, of course. I'm gonna show you another option, because remember, this is just one way to grow potatoes, and there's going to be another way, which is using a pot. Now, but I'm gonna show you that one after. Now, once you have the dirt or the soil fertilized, you're gonna add about 2 inches of fertilizer. So that is going to help the soil, the dirt, to get to be good for the potatoes. Now, after that, it's showing that you're going to plant the potatoes, but it's not going to be one close to the other. It has to be in a space between both of them. So let's say, for example, one potato is going to be here and the other potato is going to be this. So it's going to be in a space in between. And the reason is because, remember, out of one potato, you're going to get a lot of potatoes. A lot of little potatoes are going to grow from this one. So that's why you need to have a space between them. Now, once you plant them, you see here, it's about 4 inches deep. It's not that 4 inches is not that big, but then that's the deep that you're going to use, or the measure that you're going to use to plant them. Now, after that, you had to wait. You cover them, you add water, and you continue adding water. Now, remember the little eyes that Christopher mentioned? Those little eyes are going to grow into beautiful plants. And these are the plants that are going to grow out of this little potato. Once you see the plants, it's about 5 weeks. They are going to start and the flowers are going to bloom, and the flowers start turning yellow. It's about 5 weeks, and that at that moment you're going to be able to harvest the potatoes. And again, from this potato, you're gonna get a lot of potatoes. So be ready to have a lot of potatoes at home to cook at home. Now, this is one way. The other way is to plant potatoes or planting potatoes in a pot. You guys live in an
Classic.
apartment, and if you don't have enough space, this is another way to do it. Okay, let's gonna continue. So this is another way. Remember, one is in a jar, and the other way is in a pot. And this is a little bit similar to the one that we were using before, the one we saw before. This one could be a 10 gallons of 10-gallon pot. It could be any type of pot that you have at home. It doesn't have to be the same one that is in the picture, but the dirt that you're gonna buy in the store, it has to be potting soil. So it has to be soil for vegetables or to grow food, to grow especially vegetables. And you're gonna find that in Home Depot or any of the stores where you buy the soil. Now, it has to be a big one, because remember, it's going to be growing potatoes, and you need enough space. You need enough room for those to grow very well. Now you're going to start adding soil. The first part that you're going to do is you're going to add the dirt or the soil on the bottom, and you're going to leave distance between one and the other. Remember, we are not going to plant them together. We are going to go ahead and plant them separate, not together, but separate. Let's gonna start again. So you're gonna have your 10 gallons pot. You're gonna put soil, and you're gonna put the potatoes. And then once you put the potatoes, you're gonna add more dirt on top, and you're gonna water them. And remember, the amount of water, it has to be about 2 inches. And you're gonna touch with your finger to see if the soil is actually wet. And you're gonna start every time that you see the plant growing, you're gonna start adding more soil. Yeah, a little bit more soil until you cover the little plants. You see that there's a little space here. So once you add more soil, it has to be almost the entire plant covered. And the reason is because it's going to continue giving more nutrients to the plant, and it's going to continue growing tall and tall, and more potatoes will continue growing and growing. Now, the next one is after 18 or 20 weeks, you're gonna see that the plant is going to be bigger. You're going to see that the flowers are going to bloom. Again, the flowers are going to die. And once the flowers die and the plant starts turning yellow, like it's dying, it's time for you to harvest your potatoes. Okay, so thank you so much for participating in the honor. I wanted to show you guys this presentation because I want you guys to learn how to grow potatoes at home, and also to have another option in case that you guys need it in the future. And you can show other people how to grow food at home.